Back on the SportsMax zone, still discussing cricket as the West Indies suffered a 113-run defeat in the second test, setting up a winner-take-all encounter in the third and final test starting Friday. This match also to be played at Old Trafford, England. 469 for 9 declared and 129 for 3 declared. The West Indies 287 and 198 all out. Ben Stokes, the man of the match. Let's hear from the West Indies coach, Phil Simmons.
In the 5 days, we still played some good cricket. For me, the game, we lost control of the game in 5 or 6 overs with the new ball yesterday evening, in a place where we were in a good position to bat through the day and then bat some of the day and close off the game. But from Broad there, I think, is where we lost the game, and we lost our way there and couldn't hold it back. I think it's disappointing. I think the way we started, chasing 300, if we batted normally between when we started and tea time, then we could have seen what was happening. The plan was to see what was happening at tea and see what we had left to chase and decide if we're going to go at it or if we're going to bat out the day. But the way we started the inning, it didn't all go well for us, and we had to be fighting to save the game. It's very good. We have 5, maybe 6 half centuries and no conversion. It's something that we've been talking about a lot, and no one's taken up that opportunity in this game yet again. So it is disappointing. I think we have to do something different. We've just lost a test match. We have to add to things we've done in the first test match and subtract from some of the things we've done in this test match. And I think it's critical that our batsmen carry on and make big hundreds. Stokes, 176. What's his name, 120 odd. Our batsmen need to make hundreds because our bowlers have been doing their job, and now the batsmen need to stand up and do what they have to do for West Indies cricket.
Phil Simmons there, the West Indies coach, having to oversee performance in this second test that did not resemble in any way the performance that we saw in the first test match when the West Indies won and took a good-looking lead in the series. Now joining us for his perspective on the second test, former West Indies fast bowler Tino LeBertram Best, all the way in Christchurch, Barbados. Tino, hugely disappointing for the West Indies, batting flops in both innings, and that really summed up the game for us, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're disappointed, but you're not discouraged. I think that we still have a great chance of winning these series. Everyone has a little chink in their armor, to be honest. We know our bowlers did a fantastic job in terms of playing back-to-back games, and no one coming up with a real injury. That's a very good sight. That's a plus, to be honest. And another thing is that I love Shay Hope, but I think that I would kind of like give him a rest now. I think he's had a really good run. He's disappointed. He just needs his mindset to just be free for this next test, and I think he's going to come back better as a better player. But I think he needs to sit down. I would bring in Rakeem Cornwall as the truth, but I think that Phil Simmons hit the nail on his head. He talked about that spell from Broad, which I thought was absolutely amazing. Mariah and Lance. I thought that he should have played the first test. I think as he played the first test, who knows, we might have been too loved down. But I know the quality. 485 test wickets don't walk around, Lance. And to see him sit down in the first test, they really give him that energy to really run in the second test. Yes, his first spell, his legs weren't really pumping, as you know how Broad is. But as soon as he got into his work with that second new ball, it was all over. And I think that's where the West Indies fell down. We got to dig deeper. We got to block more balls. We got to learn to play the short ball better. I had the opportunity today to hear Brian Lar talk about how to play the short balls and how to back each other in terms of protecting each other's wickets and stuff. And that was brilliant. That was a masterclass from the great man in his presence. But I think that we just need to just focus. As I said, we're not discouraged. I know that the West Indies is going to win this series 2-all or 2-1, beg your pardon, or draw the series. I have no fear.
Tino, you mentioned, you would include Rakeem Cornwall, but what about Joshua De Silva, especially because he's been brilliant with the bat in the warm-up, the practice matches?
Well, you're really pushing for your country.
We need batting, Tino, come on.
Nah, listen, to be honest, not at all, because he is a wicketkeeper. I think that his play, he got to fight Dorridge. I don't think, even though Dorridge had the 4 innings that Dorridge had, he had one good score, guys. Let's not forget that 7-6. That was brilliant. and the next three has been it hasn't been poor. But really and truly, I think that Dorridge keeps his play. I'm gonna persist with Dorridge, because if you're talking about that injury room, Mariah, the Dorridges, the Jason Holders, and the Ralstons have scored the amount of runs for the West Indies in that middle and lower order. You can't let him go.
Right.
So what I'll do, I will bring in Raheem Cornwall for Shay, and everyone comes up a slot. Remember, Raheem Cornwall is a top order batsman as well. So you strengthen the batting. I think the bowlers keep the play. And I just think we just had a bad couple of days. We play $1 million cricket. We did not really focus hard enough. I think that we thought that certain people weren't playing in the 11, and we kind of relaxed, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's where we got caught slipping, and we played the ultimate, and the series is level 1-0. But I'm not discouraged. I know the guys and the ability those guys have, and I can tell you throughout the years, I will say this with no fear of contradiction, I think it's one of the better West Indies teams that I have seen since maybe 1999, 2000. I think it's one of the better teams in terms of being competitive against that England team. So I have all faith in these guys, and I know these guys are going to make the people of the West Indies proud.
Tino, I agree with you, one of the better teams, of course. But fitness, injuries, some of our players, the ones that are bringing the results for us, Shannon Gabriel, John Campbell, we know what he can do, but they seem to be in pain. They seem to be struggling, so that's a cause for question.
Yeah, a little bit, but these guys, these big boys, these guys make the big money, Mariah, and they got to take it. You've got to find a way to recover quickly. Rest. There's no opportunity to go and party or drink alcohol.
Thankfully, yeah.
So all you got to do. I was just on the guys' snap, and I saw the guys just relaxing, playing the video games, whatnot, and stuff. But they got to rest and recuperate, and don't worry about the injuries. This is Test cricket. This is where the boys are separated from the men, and West Indies have to come harder. They got to play smart cricket, and I'm not fearful about the injuries. I haven't heard anything come out. I saw how Shannon bowled in the second innings. I was watching him. His pace was still up, which is a very good sign from the first innings. So I don't have any fear. I don't think that the guys should fear. I just think that we just got to play to our strengths. And our strength is playing good, calm, collective, smart cricket.
Yeah, you know how the fans are, though, Tino, and based on what happened in this Test match, because it was really a non-performance by the batting in both innings, really. And to be honest, when they failed to bat out the entire day on Sunday, it became evident there that England were giving themselves an outside chance of winning this Test match. But I listened to you carefully just now, and you seem to be suggesting that you would only make one change for the third Test, and that would be Cornwall in for Hope?
Yes, indeed. And I mean, let's go back quickly to the fans. I mean, to be honest, Lance, I agree with the fans. They're very disappointed. We didn't mind if we drew the Test match, but the way we lost 19 wickets in 7-8 sessions, I think that was poor. That was very poor from our standpoint. West Indies. I don't play anymore. Sorry, from the West Indies batsman point of view, and they know that. I mean, Lance, they know that, and there's so much talent. Like, for instance, the guys in there have to sacrifice their bodies. And why I mean by this is this. 2 balls before tea time, Blackwood gets a short ball from Ben Stokes. Me, I would have get onto that. I am not a batsman, but I think I have the know-how how to get onto a short ball or to just take it on the arm. I think that's when you know that you're fighting for your team. You take a blow, you take a lash for the fellas in the dressing room. I think that Phil Simmons needs to tell the guys to do those things. And once he tells them to do those things and accept those roles, I think that we are going to do well. We got to score ugly runs. Don Sibley is one of the most unattractive cricketers. I thought Alistair Cook was horrible. Oh my God, I can't watch Don Sibley. Oh my God.
Phil Simmons actually forgot his name just now in the post-match interview.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. But he finds a way to score runs. And he is a perfect example for our batsmen to look at. You don't want to make runs and look sleek like a Shamar Brooks or a Joe Root. But you got to find ways to get runs. Look, Craig Brathwaite, I thought Craig Brathwaite batted beautifully the first innings. You've got to score 100 when you get in those situations. So I think Phil Simmons needs to get into the players' head and just let them know what they're capable of and not what they're doing wrong. And And the only change I will make, I will go to stick down Shay. I mean, the last 37 test innings, he averaged 18, and I love Shay. Everybody knows I love Shay, but I mean, I gotta call a spade a spade. And if I gonna pull up the other people, I gotta pull up the ones I like too, right? So I think he gotta relax the next test, and I would just bring in Rakeem. I think the surfaces look really dry, so I think that Rakeem might play a real big part. And I think he's a frontline spinner, and he's an aggressive batsman. And I do think that those short balls that England might bowl at Rakeem Cornwall, he will lick them away. He backs himself, and that's what I like about that young man. So that's the only change I will make, lad.
Tino, a discussion that we always have in the office, are we stronger with or without the player? So Shay Hope, we know what he's capable of. Yes, he's been struggling in tests, but are we stronger as a team with Shay Hope in our squad?
Well, as we look at numbers don't lie. Women lie, men lie. Everyone that's at the numbers, and the numbers suggest that Shay can't start the third test. I am sorry. But he got to sit down and build back that hunger again for test cricket. Like, Shay Hope can't play in swinger now. I mean, every minute Shay getting hit on his pad. And I mean, I'm not sure what the batting coaches up there doing. Like, that is your job. Like, why is Shay getting out this way? You're getting paid as the head coach, the batting coach. And it looks bad, to see Shay get out that. I mean, the batting coach don't back to the batsman, don't get me wrong. But Shay needs a break. And I just think he needs a mental break. I think that once you get that mental break, I think he can go and come again. And I just think that he's one for the future. He's not going to get kicked off the West Indies or anything. I just think sometimes they just need a release button. And I think we need to release him now and let him catch back himself. And I know the talent and the things that he can do. So, yeah, the numbers don't lie. 37 innings, average 18, just not good enough, man.
Well, Tino, you are the most optimistic West Indies supporter I've spoken to in the last 4 or 5 hours, because many fans are at the moment very nervous about what will happen at Old Trafford this weekend. But you seem confident that the boys can rebound with the kind of performance that saw them beat England in the first Test match. But you are, based on your assessment, accepting, though, of the fact that, one, England is clearly stronger with Stuart Broad in there, and obviously with the return of Joe Root. So how would the West Indies counter that then? Because they were, for all intents and purposes, winners in the first Test against an England team that wasn't as strong as the team that played in the second Test.
Yeah, I mean, we've beaten England with Broad. Remember the second Test in the Caribbean?
Yes.
He came into the squad and we won still. So I don't think it's a situation that we fear Broad or whatever the case may be. I think we just need to play our natural game. We got to play the ball in the V. We got to play the ball a lot later. We just got to back ourselves. Like, when you get to this level of playing Test cricket, Lance, it's not about talent anymore. It's about execution. And I think the West Indies need to execute well. What England beat the West Indies in is execution. It's not about they're talented or they're better than us or whatever, so forth. It's all about going out there and doing the team plan and hit the ground running. And I thought that the West Indies did not hit the ground running with a new ball in the first session of the second Test. And that's where I think we lost the game a little bit. So I think that we just needed to focus a little harder and not play $1 million cricket. And I just need, once we play a session by session, I think that West Indies are going to be competitive and we're going to win this series. I mean, I'm a West Indian. How could I not want West Indies cricket to win? I mean, every time your child disappoints you, you're going to throw away the child and say you don't want anything to do with the child. Come on. You got to back yourself and back your people. That's how we become champions.
Tino, I'm not going to throw them away, but I can't help but admit I'm very nervous. Like, I'm this close to
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous, man. Come on, man. I believe in these guys. These guys are very good. Trust me. We have a very talented bunch of cricketers, and all they need is that belief. And once these guys believe, I know these guys are going to be champions. They're going to be competitive. I don't think we might win like how we won for 15 straight years, because the game has changed and evolved brilliantly in the science, the biomechanics, the nutrition, everything has changed. So it's more of a level playing field. So if it's more of a level playing field, all that has to come down to is all about execution. And that's how you win a Test match, by executing. And once the West Indies do the small little idiosyncrasies right, I think that they're going to win this Test match. They just have to play session by session. And the game is not won in the first day, the second day. It wins on the fifth day, on maybe the last session. We have to carry it deep.
Thank you very much, Tino. Stay with us, though. We are coming back with Interactive, and we want you to be a part of it. Back in a moment on the SportsMax Zone.